I have already prepared the colors. So this may look apparently difficult at the beginning, but one of the tricks is to start selecting few important details, deliberately selecting something that hits our attention at the first glance. What is typical to ancient Roman architecture are that arcades of the buildings and also different columns. So let's start from the geometry of the Colosseum on the background. And that little church in front of it. So Rome is a mixture of styles and historical periods of time and styles in architecture. So this is Baroque, that is positioned on the background of ancient Rome. So these are all geometrical shapes, and while we draw something that is located in a very narrow area, it is pretty easy. So not that much drawing. We just need to start from some area. Also, what I'm drawing, those areas that I will deliberately leave uncolored. And like this, almost abstract. Then, so here like that, something like this. So now let's see, we start. Maybe what is good with two particles here. Then here, that little dome. It's also interesting, trying to simplify everything, not going too much into detail. And then that row of columns like this. So, and mostly we will use blue and ochre at the beginning. So let's grab ochre. Ochre is this one with yellow. Okay. And choosing what areas we will leave uncolored. So I'm using a big brush here. And one of the reasons why I do this is because I want my colored areas wet. It's important that we use wet pigment and that we have enough water in our color mixture, because water allows us to pull our pigment around the paper. And then I'm not following the shapes that I see on the picture all around my image. Moving my brush away from that shape, I'm adding more water and spreading it almost in a very free way around the paper, because it's almost white. So once it is dry, it will not influence the image that much. Now what I want to do, I'll grab some blue, but it is very concentrated in my palette. So I will dilute it a bit. And then I'm just choosing. For example, I have chosen this wall, and I'm accurately going around this wall and its shape, trying to repeat its shape. And I'm going around it with blue of the sky. Instead, where I have Colosseum, my blue of the sky goes over it, because it is much darker when it dries out. I will paint a new glaze in order to show, to display and to reveal the shape of the Colosseum. Okay. Here I am leaving a little white line uncolored, because I don't want the tower to blend with the sky. Here I can blend it. With red ochre and also yellow ochre, this part. So basically I'm leaving the Baroque church uncolored. I care about the white areas, not to get any pigment, because white in watercolor is revealed by white paper. So we can use some pink here, because now I'm keeping it very soft, but I want my painting pretty colored, like vibrant. But I will get there slowly. Also the sky. So we can start adding some dark green and blue colors here under the church, at the bottom of the church. Painting a few particles here. So okay, here we will grab some dark, some black, and draw these arcade doorways more precisely, and also the projected shadow of the column. So everything basically is turning around this white church that is our chosen center of the composition. And while we're pulling the color away from it, we start focusing on other elements. Okay. So let's make disappear the top of the Colosseum in the sky. Okay, not too much, like this. So next step, I want to focus a little bit on that little dome. Domes are very easy to paint. First, you paint a very light rectangular shape, and then you paint another light shape, which is half sphere, half circle on top for the dome, and then you wait when they dry out both before we glaze other layers. So we have that green vegetation on the bottom that goes around this other temple with very evident row of columns. Here is one single column that is half ruined, a very normal situation in the entire Roman Forum area. So this is very typical and recognizable painting half ruined columns in a row, and they're all different, different stone color, different height. So people will immediately recognize the location by those indications, those signs, graphical signs. Basements of the columns, they look even more orange. Let's add more color here. The landscape is very sunny, and sunny landscapes usually are very colored. They have bright, vibrant colors. Maybe also this basement here, and green background. When I paint shapes, I paint backgrounds immediately bordered with the illuminated parts. This helps a lot to show the three-dimensional shapes. This is pretty complex as a landscape because it has so many elements that are three-dimensional and they are overlapping. So it's important to be bold and to let go of the also impossible mission of painting all and every detail. And a lot of green grass and many different layers and scales here. Stairs. Okay. This is already dry. Maybe I will use always blue ultramarine for the shadows. What happened with this shadow? I have a paper tower that probably is not seen, where I soak away the exceeding water. So I need more color, I need more yellow, pure yellow here. So also pure orange. Now I'm adding more pure colors, preparing it on the same spot with red. So possibly they will not damage each other. Like if I mix blue with yellow, I will lose both colors. And red and orange, this will most likely not happen. And this is the row of columns on the left.